Hello and welcome to our daily sketching routine. It is Sunday, March the 9th, 2025, and today's topic, I'm going to call it character design, drawing faces, or drawing the face, something like that. I'll explain what I'm talking about in just a second, but before we begin, welcome back if you're returning, and welcome if you're new to the channel. I sketch and post every day, and I use a timer to stay focused and to build a habit. So I'll start a 10-minute timer. I think I did a couple of videos on this one. I'll post a link to the last one that I did. And for the past few days, I've been doing I call it a deep dive into like drawing the profile. So if you want to check those out, they're in the figure drawing playlist that I have. I wanted to kind of fill this sketchbook page, and so I'll put this in world building because it's a specific character and it's more stylized than like trying to be realistic. So yeah, with all of that said, let's get started. One thing I like to do if I am going to kind of lay out like a sketchbook page is I wanted to have some expressions. So maybe like right here, at least a couple. And then for the kind of the purpose of this video, I wanted to have like a kind of a front view right here, a little bit bigger. In a lot of videos I do that I call like the basic drawing or figure drawing or like beginner friendly type stuff, I do talk about you can use a pencil and just kind of do like all that construction stuff. For down here, I might do a profile kind of like what I was doing the other day. And like I was saying, it sort of fits more into like a square rather than this is more of an oval. So this is a basic like oval shape right here. And I'm just going to be loose about it because I'm not using like a whole lot of construction lines. So I'm going to be pretty loose about the outline. And then I'm going to think about, it's nice to have the reference right here. So the proportions, that's where the brow is. But since I have the reference right here, I can kind of just, so I know like that's the center of like this. So again, I want to keep it within the picture. I'll just kind of indicate like where the brows go. They're kind of like in this area. And I'll just keep it loose enough to where when I add more detail, it'll, I can fix some things. And the other thing is over here, like I kept the lighting, like I didn't shade it and stuff, but I sort of implied just by like the line weight and like stuff like this, I sort of implied like where the lighting would be. And I'm making it a point not to draw on this, although I could go in and refine it more. I'm just sort of, part of it is it's in my sketchbook, and it's in some ways it's more helpful to see like the unfinished drawing. So what I mean by like the lighting is like I'm just gonna go off of that because that implies like a certain kind of lighting, but then I'll also use it as the design and also the proportion. So like I'll just kind of copy like her features. So yeah, I'll just use that as reference. But that's how I would kind of set up the proportions and still make it look like the same character. But like sketch it in and have it fit. Have it fit the page. And I'm going to be pretty sketchy about it because one, I'm recording this, and so I know that that's going to kind of throw it off a little bit just because I'm not spending as much time. Although I can be pretty quick about it, but that's not the point. But just wanted to show that you can get the proportions. I mean, the proportions are going to be pretty basic, but then like It's like the shape and then like tiny little differences, and kind of like the shape of the jawline and stuff. So for this one, I'm going to just kind of keep it at that for now so I can move on to this one. And then also it's kind of good to keep it simple so that you can kind of copy it a little bit easier, because what happens is the more detailed it looks, the more the other drawing has to match it. Part of this is a style exploration. So in this one, I'm going to do the same thing, but maybe change the expression up a little bit, because now I can see like a little bit easier of the design. And if you keep it loose enough, you can go in and tighten it up. And actually simplifying the shapes is good. These are iterations. And I actually like it when people, like when other artists, they have different versions, like a simple and then like a more realistic and stuff. I kind of like that. So you can do some expressions, and obviously you can do more, but that's just to get started, to kind of get a feel. So on this one, I'm going to make it kind of like that, but the idea with this one is, one, to sort of show the importance of proportion and how it's really helpful to understand proportion so that you can draw stuff over and over again without feeling like it's a big deal. So all of this is just coming from, it's not just the Loomis method, but like that's helpful, but it's like just drawing the head. Like there's different, so like it's basically like an egg shape, for example, and then you kind of decide, like I use the Loomis methods just for the fact that like the proportions are easy to remember, but you can see that you can start to simplify it like more so that it looks more cartoony, if you will. So part of this is to show, like, one, how to make it look like that character, and also the other thing is how to draw a bigger version of your drawing, of like the whatever it is that you're drawing, so that the reason it's easy, or to make it easier, is because the construction is there, and so I'm not too worried about it. Again, I'm just using the lighting from just to make it look kind of consistent. You don't have to. And so this is a bigger version, so I can have more detail. I can also play around with exaggerating it a little bit more. So I can go in and add more detail. I might give myself some room to play around with like the expression, maybe, or just exaggerate the style a little bit more. I mean, this is a sketch, but I would even call this like the layout for a sketch. And then the next stage would be still like sketching in like the detail and not even worrying about the light and the shadow, because that stage could also be just line work, like outlining stuff. For the next stage would be like tightening up the sketch, but it would still be the sketch. So yeah, that'll be it for today. I want to thank you for joining me for our daily sketching routine. And if you enjoy these videos, please support the channel. I appreciate it. Until next time, keep on sketching.